Hi there. So your instructor has assigned you a presentation. I know what you're thinking. I didn't sign up for this. For decades, people have ranked public speaking as one of their #1 fears. Fortunately for you, though, your instructor has reached out to the experts, your friendly Richland College Speech Faculty, to help you organize a strategy for delivering this presentation successfully. My name is Jennifer Millspaugh, and I teach several communication courses here at Richland College, along with more than 20 other professional speech instructors who are excited to help you improve your skills. We currently offer a variety of speech communication courses designed to cover several communication topics. Since we can only cover a teeny tiny part of public speaking today, we hope you'll consider taking one or more of these classes next semester. Let's begin by turning it over to Dr. Sherry Dean, who will give you some important tips on managing your anxiety.
The fear of speaking in front of people is a type of mental anxiety that produces stress. This can include physical nervousness, such as dry mouth, sweating, and shaking, to worry, reluctance, or even sleeplessness. How we think about a public speaking situation can have a profound effect on our physical and mental reactions. So we need positive thinking. There are a number of reasons why we might be afraid to speak in public. Perhaps we fear forgetting something while speaking or losing our focus. We might also fear looking stupid in front of our peers and facing possible criticism or rejection. Remember that anxiety is a head game that can sabotage our confidence. The good news is that these fears are quite common, and in fact, you need to be a bit nervous in order to do your best work. Yes, it is good to be nervous. We call that kind of nervous energy facilitative anxiety. The difference between an inexperienced speaker and the experienced one is positive thinking and teaching those nervous butterflies to fly in formation. Dr. Amy Cuddy of the Harvard School of Business has done groundbreaking research on managing public speaking anxiety. We have included her TED Talk at the end of this presentation. Please invest 15 minutes and watch this TED video. You'll be inspired and more confident as you prepare for your class presentation. Now I'd like to turn it over to Professor Jamie Kyrish, who's going to share some great practice tips with you.
One of the best ways to deal with nervousness is to practice. Here are 7 tips for practicing your presentation. Tip number 1, visualize yourself doing well and consider things that could possibly go wrong in handling those things with ease. Tip number 2, prepare a plan B. Create handouts in case your technology doesn't work. Tip number 3, once you have written your speech, read it out loud to make sure that it fits within the time requirement. Tip number 4, record your speech and also practice in front of friends 2 or 3 times. This way you can make sure your message is clear and you can look for areas of improvement. Tip number 5, do a full dress rehearsal in the clothes, in the shoes that you're going to wear, and with the visual aids that you're going to use for your presentation. Tip number 6, while practicing your speech and in your presentation, focus on the message, not on yourself. And the final tip, if you tend to speak fast or look at the floor, you can put keywords on your note card to remind you to take a breath and to pause, to look at both sides of the room, and to look at your professor. With these 7 tips for practicing in your toolbox, now find out more about eye contact with speech professor Gil Castillo.
Establishing eye contact with an audience conveys confidence and credibility. Therefore, an audience is more likely to focus their attention on the speaker, listen intently to their message, and trust him or her. Furthermore, a speaker is able to gauge the audience's interest level. The speaker is able to see if an audience is paying attention or if they are distracted. In doing so, the speaker is able to alter their delivery to capture their attention. Here are ways to use eye contact effectively. First, pan your eyes like a movie camera from one side of the audience to the other. Start by looking at the left part of the audience, then to the center, then to the right, alternating back and forth. Do not linger for too long on any spot. This will help you maintain a balance between looking at your audience and glancing at your note cards to help you recall what to say. Secondly, do not have your back to an audience when referencing visual aids. An audience might lose interest in your speech if they see you are ignoring them. Instead, position your body at an angle where you still have a view of the audience and of your visual aids. Next, Professor Carol Kent will explain to you how to use vocal delivery effectively.
When we make presentations, our vocal delivery also needs consideration. Used properly, our voice signals our confidence and credibility. The key to sounding interesting is to use vocal variety. Let's quickly look at two aspects of vocal variety, volume and rate. Volume means speaking loudly enough for everyone to hear you. Remember, you need to be heard by people on the back row as well as the front, so speak louder than your normal conversational style. Rate deals with how quickly or slowly you are speaking. Many presenters speed up their rate of speaking due to nervousness. It is better to slow down and take your time so that your audience can more easily follow your thoughts. By varying your volume and rate of speaking, you will begin to develop vocal variety. Next, let's consider pronunciation and articulation. These deal with the way you state your words. If you're unsure how to pronounce a word, ask your instructor for the correct way to say it. This is particularly true of names of locations or complex words that we don't use on a daily basis. Articulate your words clearly and distinctly so that your audience can easily understand you. Also, be sure to keep vocal fillers such as like, and you know to a minimum. Finally, one key way to sound more engaging is to simply smile as you speak. By smiling, you are shaping your words so that your vocalizations take on a more friendly and likable sound. By using vocal variety, pronouncing and articulating your words carefully, and by simply smiling as you speak, you will sound interesting and confident. With a bit of practice, you can learn to use your voice to your advantage. Good vocal quality is important to good public speaking.
And now Professor D.C. Spence will tell us about movement.
As you prepare your speech, it is helpful to think about the space and how you will integrate movement into your performance. Consider the audience and the cultural context of your speaking engagement. Remember, some cultures traditionally embrace more movement than others, so be willing to adapt. When you integrate nonverbal gestures into your performance, they should add purpose and emphasis to your message and should appear as natural as possible. So try to avoid distracting habits like swaying or pacing. As you practice, harness your nervous energy and gradually incorporate purposeful movement into your performance. Remember, your movement adds purpose and emphasis. It should also be appropriate for the cultural context and is most effective when it appears natural and emphasizes your message.
We hope you've enjoyed some of our favorite tips for improving your public speaking today. We trust that these suggestions will improve the presentation you're about to give. Remember, we offer entire semester-length courses specifically geared toward improving public speaking, and we couldn't possibly fit everything into just this video. To keep honing your skills, sign up for a speech communication course today.